Hello and welcome to the first hybrid hangout for ladies, women, girls only, because we can't agree on what we should be called. And to our audience, welcome, especially you gentlemen. You're welcome to watch, and we hope you enjoy our conversation. We're going to get together today and talk about why hybrid e-products. Do we want them? Do we need them? Do we care? And just in case you're wondering what they are still plus video plus audio, all in one, and that makes a hybrid e-product. With me is a hybrid hero team. We decided not to be heroines because that too sounds funny. And I'm going to turn it over to the ladies to introduce themselves to you. So somebody start, tell us who you are and what you do.
I'm Suzette Allen. I'm a professional photographer, have been for about 25 years. I also teach Photoshop, and I've been doing that for about 11 years. And I love the process of learning and the digital creativity possibilities, and I love to teach also. I'm excited to be a part of this team.
I'm Lynette Kent. I'm a photographer and an artist in Southern California, and I write books on Photoshop to compete with Suzette, of course, and on Lightroom as well. And this is just really a lot of fun. Hybrid is something totally new, and we've got to figure it out.
I'm Jessica Wallach. I'm a photographer. I've been a photographer for, 15 years. I run a portrait studio, and I do some commercial work. And everything I've learned from Photoshop and Lightroom is from Lynette, and for 11 years from Suzette. Thank you, Suzette.
Hi, I'm Cindy Connor, and I'm the web designer and editor for ShootSmarter.com and DiscoverMirrorless.com. And I am the non-photographer of the bunch here, but I do have a camera now, and I'm all excited about learning to use it. And so I read everybody's articles a lot and through the weeks, and so I'm just here as an observer a little bit more than a speaker, and just going to have some fun with this.
Awesome, Cindy. And Cindy didn't tell you that she does do video editing. So she's here for more than an observer role, no matter what she thinks. And I'm Carol Schlintz. I'm a portrait and sports photographer in Southeast Wisconsin, and I've gone totally mirrorless. So I literally put my DSLR down and never picked it up again. And that's how I ended up doing some vlogging for DiscoverMirrorless.com and met this great group of new friends, and we're sharing this pretty exciting journey together. And so today we're going to start in on why e-products. And each of the ladies sent me some ideas for why they think we've got to go there, and we've got to go there now. And the first one is, I kind of use the phrase, your phone is your new wallet photo. Does that resonate with anyone?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
So expand on that.
Well, you go see, oh, show me your grandkids or show me your kids. Nobody pulls out their wallet photos. They pull out their iPhone, and they show pictures.
I can't even remember the last time somebody showed me a wallet photo.
I shot engagement pictures last weekend, and that was exactly what I did. I came home and used the Pro Show producer and had it to her in a couple hours right to her phone. Wow. And it was very quick. It was fast. I mean, and she loved it. It was really nice.
Yep. And so I guess I don't see my high school graduates going away from wallets entirely in the next year, but I don't think I would be surprised if the right e-product comes along, and I think there are some out there that could do it, like sticky albums, for example. If ultimately my sales of wallets don't turn into sales of an e-product that runs on their phones, and that's how they want to show them, and very few prints to send to Grandma and Grandpa who don't have cell phones or something like that.
Well, you still want the print for the wall, I think.
Okay, you're right. Hang on to that thought there for 1 second, because while we're on the phone thing, let's keep going on the whole mobile thing. Because that was the second point, was that everybody with their devices, their tablet, their phone, is out there showing off their products. And now we're not just talking about just getting that e-product to her client, but we're also talking about just being able to create an e-product that she uses to sell to her clients. Does that make sense? Anybody want to chime in on that?
I mean, for the last year, I start every sales session with a video. Sometimes it has video and sometimes it's just stills and music and the graphics. And that just evokes so much more emotion than just running a slideshow.
Yeah.
There's just something, and my hope is I make every mother cry and every father be silent.
I like that.
Yeah.
Have any of you made a portfolio for yourself that you run electronically versus in print?
I have one on my website.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you take that along on your phone or tablet ever when you're meeting with a client?
I would if I had room on my phone. I'm such a photomaniac, it's full with other pictures.
I definitely, when I do my in-person consultation, I go to their home, and so I show them my favorite last video that's on my computer. It's not on my phone or my tablet. I'm using my laptop.
Okay. So I guess I'm the lone stranger then with I have my iPad with me all the time, and there's always at least 2 portfolio pieces that aren't just one family. It's, it's a group, it's several families, and it's all put together with music. And I usually have a second one that's children. So that depending on what we're talking about, I need to have one for my seniors, and I just haven't done it yet. I see that personally as being way more powerful than having a book of pictures or and that now is the time to go to Lynette's point. The other thing that's as powerful is when they come to the studio and they see the big wall art that I have there as decor. And of course I've carefully chosen the pieces and the sizes to get them off the 8x10 dime.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. In the studio, you will sell what you show. But that goes for digital too. You'll sell what you show. So it's really important that we show people our e-products and the possibilities, because people are not aware of the possibilities yet. We are the leaders. We have to show them. And then when they see it, they're like, oh, I want that. And that starts the ball rolling. But yeah, we have to show what we want to sell.
Oh, that is a really, really good point, because like I said, I've carefully chosen what's up in my studio, because it's exactly what I want to sell, size-wise and the kind of print. That makes it even more important, I guess, for all of us to get some of our e-products on our phones and on our mobile devices, so that when we're out and about, we're showing those, because
Definitely.
that is what's going to sell them. Really good point.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else on that whole concept of mobile and the phone is the new wallet and that sort of thing?
I definitely have at least one sticky album, but I like their idea of making it a portfolio piece instead of just a sample of somebody else's photo session. So that's top on my list tonight.
Yeah, so in other words, you're saying make a sticky album for yourself of a portfolio.
Yes.
That's a really cool idea that you can just have a sticky. I made a sticky. My first sticky album was one of the few photo shoots that I did of a personal trainer, and so I have this gorgeous bodybuilder, in all of these shows, and then I gave it to him to put on his iPhone to show others, and he can get business from it. But they say, who'd you get that from? My link is on the bottom, and so I could get, I could be the shooter for bodybuilders or something.
Well, that is a great point. I love it, and it also brings up, I don't do a lot of commercial shooting, but I wouldn't turn down a job for the local dentist or the local florist if they needed a piece like that they could have that was mobile, and you bet my name would be on there somewhere too. Excellent.
Yeah. So many people use...
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. oh, so many people use Facebook today too. All of our lives are so busy. We connect a lot with Facebook with our friends, and people don't email or call or connect nearly as much. And so I think having the e-products that can put out more emotion and more personalization, there's definitely going to be more and more of a desire and a need for that, for people to connect with others in a kind of distant way, the way Facebook does, but it's becoming the norm. So I think that's going to be really powerful as well.
You are so right.
What about businesses that are also wanting to put e-products on their Facebook accounts also, because it's not just with family and friends anymore, like the local hair salon or a jewelry store that wants to show their products on Facebook, because I agree with Suzette, that's a lot of people are on it now.
Yep, lots of businesses only have a Facebook page and not a website because it's easier and free, and
That's
So
true.
you as the photographer then could do their commercial product for them and then sell that. Now that's got to be a totally different pricing structure than whatever you're doing for your portrait sessions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been talking to my friend who's a nutritionist, and we've been saying, oh, I'll do a headshot in the kitchen sometime for you, because she's always in the kitchen. But now I want to do an e-product, right? So it's going to be headshot, some pots and pans, and some video of cooking and hands and cutting and all that. And then I'm going to do an interview and slice in 3-second bits throughout and make a really nice product for her to put on Facebook and or her webpage. And she's gonna be my sample, and then I'll sell it to the law firm that I've been working for a year and a half doing their headshots. But I need something for them to get buy-in first, and I'll do it for me, and I'll do it for my friend Jen first.
That's a great idea. That's an awesome new e-product, is the new wave headshot.
It says so much more about a person.
Right.
Or their
Tell
business.
the story.
It does.
Right.
It tells the story. And I recently had to select a physician, and you bet I selected one from the pool of those who had a video. The ones who didn't, I didn't even bother. The ones who had a video were the ones that I paid attention to. And seeing them that way was so much more powerful than reading about their credentials and degree.
Right. Maybe our About Us page really needs to be a video instead.
Oh my gosh, I have a
We
lot
should
of
all do
work
it.
to
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's our homework.
Yes. So let me put something out there to those of you who sell portraits. And other than corporate headshots, which for me are all digital things, there is no print involved, but for families and children and seniors, do you get asked for full-res digital images?
Of course.
And how do you respond?
I actually am willing to. People do ask for them, and I actually sell them if they want them. For a long time, I resisted, just because that's just not the way we've done business for years. But you can't stop a moving train. So we just need to price it in a way that works for us. So I price it pretty high because I know I'm not going to sell anything from that file if I sell them the file. But my policy in business has always been to say yes and then tell them how much it'll cost them. Then they decide.
Okay. And it's, I always had a policy not to, and then I did it anyway.
I've gone back and forth. What I do now is I have a price for 8x10 and less, and a price for over 8x, and the unlimited size, knowing that they probably will print big from the 8x10. But I warn them that I just warn them of the dangers of using just any lab, and I do. Sometimes they will buy a big print and then buy the small digital file. So that's been working well. This year I have much bigger menu of prices than ever, and I send it to them ahead of time, and they think about it and they know what they want. So that's what I've been doing, and I've been selling the smaller 8x10 digital a lot.
So when you say an 8x10 digital, you're talking about a file whose resolution won't print anything bigger and still have quality.
Exactly. And I don't guarantee anything. I
Right.
say it would be great for my lab, but I'm not going to promise that Walmart or whoever will print it well for you.
Exactly.
Right.
And I have resisted completely. So when the question is, do you sell the digital prints, my answer is usually typically not. If a client really wants them, though, I'll find a way. And so if they press me, then I'm kind of in Suzette's world. Realizing I will not make another sale off of that image, I price it pretty high. And it's a 50-50 thing. Half the time they go for it, and half the time they're like aghast, and they just buy the prints they want and they move on. And I guess that's just how it is.
The other thing I used to do, like maybe I'll go back to it like this, is it would be cheaper if you bought a print. Even if it was just a reference print, but if you bought some kind of print and then you wanted the file, so they would know, just as a piece of education, they would know what they were missing. So I think I probably will go back to that in the new year.
I think there's something that, as a selling photographer, you have to realize, and it goes with Jess's point, is that if they just get the digital file and go print it at Walmart and it looks like yuck, you as a photographer don't look so good. So you want them to have the reference of a well-printed piece before you give them the digital print. I think there's a really good point. In other words, there's no digital only. You have to buy one, print one, and then you can have a price for the digital file.
That's a great idea.
That is a great idea. And I think, though, where it takes us in terms of hybrid eProducts is, doesn't it seem like they are going to fill that demand for digital without messing with our ability to sell prints? Because just because that picture is in a nice little video eProduct and it's gorgeous and it's wonderful, they still can't hang that on the wall.
True.
And so I don't see the eProduct as stealing from that market as much as it gives them what they want. They want it digitally. They want it in a way that they can see it and play it on a computer or their TV. They're getting that. What they're not getting is my digital original that they can then print poorly, as Lynette pointed out, and then make me look like total poo when it had nothing to do with me per se. I gave them a great file and they went to Walmart and had it messed up.
Yeah.
I'm getting all kinds of different requests. I live in Washington, D.C. area, and we're very tech savvy, so I get the owner of a company say, well, I want just the web rights, the ability to view it on my computer or put it on Facebook. However, I've noticed that the base resolution for those kind of things have gone up. So I really want the full resolution. I swear I won't print it. But then, it's very interesting here because people want their very specific things, and they want to be able to, I want to be able to archive every picture of my child. I want to be able to print it at a later date. And I'm like, okay, let's try to make your order what you want, and then we go from there. But, my friends who want the digital files archived, I just charge him a lot of money because he owns a big company. So, and they're happy to pay to have it. So it works.
Okay. Let's move on to the next point that we had on our list, which has to do with us as pros needing products that in some cases everybody else can't create. I don't know what it's like in anybody else's market, but in mine, The mommy cam is everywhere, and I mean everywhere. Whether I'm shooting water ski or snow ski, I have mommies bring their cameras into my studio and want to stand over my shoulder because they think, well, and in some cases they actually are good photographers from a, can you get a clear, pretty well lit picture? Yeah, they can do that. They can't do what I can do on any of the post stuff, but they don't care. Free and okay seems to be better than something you have to pay for that's totally awesome. And so I've always been looking for a product that Mommy Cam can't make, and I think hybrid eProducts fall into that category.
Yes, definitely. I think we need to set ourselves apart from everybody by doing something amazing that people are going, wow, and they know they can't do it. And as leaders, as pros, we need to be putting out the really good stuff. And everybody's going to play with it. It's so much fun. Digital is just, and video, and all this is really exciting for everyone. But, you know, they know what their capabilities are. And then when they see what you can do, they're like, oh, okay, I realize I can't do that. So we just need to be putting our stuff out there that's excellent.
And I think hybrid eProducts really hit the mark on the I can do it and they can't so much.
It's pretty much beyond the capability of most of the consumers to do it or to learn the software, definitely.
I get my students playing around with it, and some of them do it pretty well, which makes me a little nervous. I just need to learn to do it better and more finesse. But they are definitely playing around. All my students are moms. So.
Can I ask what everybody's using for creating their eProducts? What products are you using?
Well, I think that is one of the things that's going to set the pro photographers apart from just anybody shooting pictures is the cost of these products. Because by the time you get Photoshop and Lightroom and even some of your video editors, you can have several $100s in it pretty easily. And so I think that's where the photographers are going to stand out. It's because they do know how to use it, and they do know how to use it well, and the cost of it is going to alleviate that as far as everybody just jumping into it. But
not necessarily, because Photoshop Elements, for example, is extremely powerful, and it's extremely affordable, and a lot of people have that. And then they have things like iPhoto, which, yes, they're not as powerful, but maybe they're what they would call satisfactory. What I meant was, what products are you using to create the e-product? What are you using to combine the video and the stills and do the transitions? ProShow Web, what else?
Pinnacle Studios.
Okay.
And I use, I'm starting to use ScreenFlow more and more to do things that are totally in-house. Where ProShow Web, to me, it's almost like sending something out to a lab. It's a lot more immediate, but there's sort of the lab of the combining, because everything is so automated, and even though I can tweak it, it's still highly automated. When I do something in ScreenFlow, it's all me. It's all whatever I choose and when I choose and how, etc. So I'm starting to get into that, and frankly, I'm finding the learning curve a little steep. I'm pretty good with Lightroom and Photoshop, but when I get into ScreenFlow, I'm sure you guys can hear me screaming every now and then. That's what that is you've been hearing?
Yes, definitely. I have another one. I've been using Photo Magico from Boinks Software. It's a German company. I've been using it since their day one, and I just got the latest upgrade, and they have, I believe they have a video component now that you can combine the video with the stills. I've done gorgeous slideshows where I can control the transitions, I can control the pan and zoom. I could say I want it to start at this face and zoom out, and I can control basically anything. And I've made most of my slideshows the last 5 years using that. No, there's no sounds included or any of those things, so you have to import your own music. But it's really powerful. I think it's Mac only, but I'm not positive.
Okay.
I use ProShow Web to start, and then I download into ProShow Producer, and so the music is there, and there's some structure to it. Then I change it all. And then when we want to do quick, and we just know we're going to get something useful, something very useful, but not have as much control, we use Animoto.
Right.
That works.
And I used Animoto in the past. I've also used, I can't think of the name of it now, I shouldn't have said it. But I've used a couple of other ones. I like ProShow Web the best of the ones that kind of do the automatic or automagic creation.
Automagic, I like that.
I like
term.
that word, yeah.
It is kind of what it is, too. Just to keep us moving, the next point on our little list is about positioning. And I think Suzette has woven that into our conversation a little bit already in terms of, well, go ahead, Suzette. You kind of had this one handled.
Yeah, and I have kind of mentioned it already, but yeah, I really feel like we need to position ourselves in the market because like every camera sold today, well, almost everyone, has video capability. And people have an appetite for that. People love it, and they're playing with it, and there's going to come a time that there will be a huge demand for it. It's pretty much inevitable. And there's a steep learning curve, as we all know. There is a serious learning curve to it to create really exceptional things. And so just if we're not ready when the demand hits, we're not going to be able to produce. We need to start now so we have it all worked out. We can create amazing products. So when the demand is there, we're ready and we can do it profitably. And everybody else will be scrambling, trying to figure it out to get up to speed.
And do you see us also maybe as demand creators a little bit? I mean, at the same time as being ready when the demand hits, aren't we creating the demand by putting the product examples out there?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Because, well, this has been going on for years. I mean, people don't know what we're capable of. I design stuff all the time, just off the top of my head. I show it to my customer, and they're like, oh, that's cool. How much is that? They wouldn't have dreamed it up or asked for it, but when I show it to them, they're like, oh, I want that. Same thing with eProducts. We come up with the ideas, we dream up these crazy scenarios, we execute it, and then people are like, wow, that's so cool, I want that. So yeah, we're creating a demand, and we're the forerunners. We're creating this whole new world.
Point that I stuck in there about business itself. eProducts do take a lot of time to create, more than just the retouching of a single photograph, without a doubt. They also, though, have a lot less hard cost in them. You're not buying something from your lab where you have to bake that cost in. Mm-hmm. And so I see them as kind of a low-cost, high-value product that I can use sometimes to drive my print sales up. It's included at this price when you get to this spending level, and it's free if you get to this spending level because I have more than, that sort of thing. But also just the fact that in some cases I can sell something that's a pure download. And there really isn't hard cost associated with that.
But there are. Don't forget, there's the web hosting cost.
Yeah.
There's the software cost. I know Animoto and ProShow Web both have a fee associated with them. And so it's not free, but it doesn't have the shipping cost. It doesn't have, it may turn out to be as expensive as the raw cost of a 5x7 without shipping and without packaging.
The big cost is our time. That's the main thing.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I feel that way with all my products, that the biggest cost is time. Even a 20x30,
And so we have two more topics to get to, and these two are near and dear to Jess's heart, so I'm really going to turn it over to her to start them, and I'm going to put them out there together. And it has to do with emotion and connection. And Jess, you know where I'm going with that, right? So
yep.
Why don't you start us off?
I started this business so I could hang out with young people and their families. Really a way to get in with families. And I want clients that come back to me over and over and over again, and I want the kids who, in those initial sessions, are not the ones asking to spend a day or an hour or a half hour with me. But I want my subjects, the kids, to be as in charge of the session as possible. And so these e-products, I watch all my friends' kids and my kids just love to look at pictures on whatever phone they can get their hands on, whatever tablet, and then if they have to, on a computer. But really, I watch mom give kid a phone to look through pictures while we're talking all the time. And so I feel like this is a way to build out that memory. We have a great time together, then they have this movie. And it's at their eye level. I mean, if you think about where people place the pictures, like, as much as I want it to be a reflection back to the kids, it's usually a reflection back to mom and dad, which is very useful and moves the family forward. But this, like, builds my relationship with the kid where hardly, unless I see that kid every week, nothing else will. So that's my, like, love of the e-product, is I get time with the kid even if I'm not actually in the room.
And I'll add my little story. When my now 3-year-old granddaughter was about 1.5 years, we were visiting them in Iowa, and she hasn't had a lot of time with my husband, her grandfather. And so I kind of backed off in the room. We were in a hotel room, and I just shot some pictures of her interacting with her daddy and her daddy's daddy. And then during the evening, I, at the time, was using Animoto. I whipped them up to Animoto, got a nice little movie. I, silly girl, set it to Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Oh, my Lanta. But for that entire weekend, she had either her father's phone, my phone, or my iPad in her hands, listening and watching that movie. And her connection with her grandfather became very strong in a very short period of time. And I must admit, going out to dinner was kind of nice, as long as we turned the volume down and everybody didn't have to hear Twinkle, Twinkle that often. She, you know, she's a little kid, and dinner with 4 adults wasn't as fun. But when she had that, she was totally entertained, and entertained in a way that I thought was kind of healthy, because she wasn't playing a video game. She was actually looking at family. And I think that it makes Jess's point, and it was just, it's something I think I want to work on actually marketing, is that when we do our sessions, mom's always there when I'm doing little kids. And sometimes mom's very resistant. I don't want to be in the pictures. This is just about little Johnny. Little Johnny really wants to see you with him in pictures. And we don't necessarily have to hang those on the wall. Those can certainly be pictures that go into a little video e-product that Johnny gets on whatever little device he's using these days, whether it's borrowing your phone or he's got his own iPad or whatever it is. And I think it has a lot of potential, and Jess is right. It creates a huge emotional link and connection.
There are tablets made just for kids, and they're less expensive, and our products should run on those as well.
That would be a good thing to learn about, because I've heard of one.
For the amount of dollars, they get a Navi. I hadn't thought about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Lots of ideas.
Yeah, it feels like a lot, but maybe it's not more than, you know, what I discount, and how many ideas and how much more in charge and how much more they will be able to participate in decisions about making the photographs from having watched my videos over and over and over again. So that's, the proof will be in the pudding next year.
Well, our time is kind of running low, so I think I'm going to do a summary and take a quick poll. We started all this on why eProducts, and I guess we could have come to a conclusion that there was no point, but that's not what I heard. Pretty much across the board, I heard everyone saying how cool they not only are, but how necessary and how they are the future. Is that agreement out there?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So now that we've got the why, perhaps I could invite all of you to come back, maybe at the beginning of January, and talk about some of the what kinds of e-products, and we even had some ideas today that I think I'm certainly going to explore. Would you all be willing to try to get it in your schedules and come back and have that discussion?
Sure.
Of course.
Definitely.
Excellent. So to our audience, we want to thank you for being here and for watching. And if you liked it, give us a thumbs up. This is what I need to do. Somewhere up there. There is a link to subscribe to Discover Mirrorless where you can be informed of all the cool new posts that are out there. Go to Discover Mirrorless often. There's going to be a lot more tutorials and how-tos in addition to the whys and the whats. I want to thank everybody who stopped in today to have this conversation. It was eye-opening and interesting, and I have homework to do now.
I think we all do.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank
so
you,
with that, we're going to sign off, and I guess I'll close with my typical closing, which is shoot lots, remember the video, and keep dreaming. Bye now.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.